Hi and welcome to Help Your Kids podcast. My name is Dr. Mish and I'm a psychotherapist, a coach, and I'm also a lecturer in child and adolescent mental health. And this podcast is all about how you can help your kids, and my co-host and I do it from a position of being parents, but we're also therapists.
Yeah, so I'm Shelley Smith. I'm also a psychotherapist and supervisor and also visiting lecturer. And similar to Mish, my background is in mental health and wellbeing. Before I became a therapist, I just really enjoyed supporting people within education. And it's just great to now develop our support services for parents and to have this Help Your Kids podcast, which we're really proud of.
Yeah. So hello.
Hello.
Here we are again.
We're back.
We're back again. So this is one of our season 2 episodes. I say one of them, I forget which one. Maybe number
episode
6.
6.
Thank you, producer Megan, for waving 6 hours.
Episode 6.
Yeah, let's say 6. So what we wanted to do is make sure that when anyone's reaching out to us with a comment or a question, that we try and address it in some way, because we seem to be getting some comments and questions. So as a reminder, last time we had a question around someone whose child had started therapy, and it made them realise how much they struggled with how they see themselves. And this child was constantly comparing themselves to others online. So how do I support their self-worth without making it worse? So that's inspired today. So thank you very much.
Thank you for that.
Sending that through. So really what we wanted to do is focus down on this idea around self-worth, comparison culture, but we can't do that without touching upon body image as well, because that seems to be one of the loudest parts of comparison culture and self-worth. And often I think there are lots of layers to that. It might come out as body image, but there's often lots of layers. Yeah. So we kind of trying to capture it all as best we can, because the person didn't say that it was specifically comparing themselves body-wise, but that a lot of the research does link it to that. So there's been research around adolescence being such a vulnerable period for some, but not everyone, regarding body image. But there is a really developmentally sensitive area. So if you think about young people, teenager-y age, you've got puberty, you've got that kind of peer comparison plus identity. It's a bit of
it's huge, isn't it?
Potent storm there.
Yeah, that time of your life where you don't really know where you fit necessarily.
Yeah.
You might have moved from primary to secondary, or you might be doing your GCSEs that time.
Yeah.
Where, you know, there's going to be heightened emotions. Sometimes going through that stage, you don't know how you're going to feel from one minute to the next, do you? You can feel a lot of pressure and expectation on yourself. And that does link to self-worth, doesn't it? And how we view ourselves and how we think other people see us. Yeah,
it's kind of like that place in the world. What's my place in the world? What's my place with my peers?
Yeah.
Who am I? It's those sorts of questions. And that's why I think it's that developmentally really sensitive period to go through. And, you know, the research indicates that it is really, really tricky, that there is a lot around online social comparison. And basically some of the research has found that if there is higher online social comparison, that links to greater body image concerns. So that the more you compare, the more you're concerned about yourself.
Which makes sense.
Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense, because you would always go, often what people do is they go, people are better than me. We rarely go, people are less than me. It always tends to be the other way around, doesn't it?
Yeah, and comparison, again, in my experience of working with people of all ages, it's often doesn't lead to positive things.
Yes.
Comparing normally leads to you feeling not good enough, or not worthy enough, or not pretty enough.
Yeah.
And it is that word enough, isn't it? How is that comparison serving you? Is it having a positive impact, or is it making you feel really rubbish? And unless you've got somebody there or something to make you feel good enough about yourself and reframe those thoughts, we can go down that path of those thoughts getting bigger and bigger, can't we?
Yeah. And what can start off as something quite small can feel like it gets massive.
Yeah. And it can feel like it gets massive very quickly.
Yeah.
And then people can be left thinking, is that the truth? Am I actually like that? Is that my belief? Is that how other people perceive me?
Yeah. I always think it's that thing of, you know, like if you're wanting to, I don't know, buy a car, and you're like, I really like this type of car, you start seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the same thing
Yeah.
with how we compare ourselves. And particularly with algorithms, if you start looking for something, that you'll get all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I mean, the amount of gardening things I see.
And me. And home decor.
Oh, dopamine home decor.
Exactly. But it's true. Those algorithms will pick up what you've... Even if you've scrolled and you've stopped on something for a few seconds longer, it's going to pick up that, oh, you're interested in this, so I'm going to keep throwing adverts. I'm going to keep throwing these messages.
Yeah.
So I think if you are struggling with that body image or self-worth, or you are finding you're comparing yourself to others, it is worth checking in on what is in your feed. And if it is having a negative impact, if it's reinforcing those messages, or if there's things you can do to maybe change that. So you're following the people and the pages that actually are having a positive impact on your self-worth.
Yeah, and that could be a really useful conversation for parents to have with their children.
Yeah.
To say, well, let's have a look at what you're following.
Yeah.
And how do you feel when you're following this?
Yeah.
And you've been scrolling for half an hour. You know, they don't call it doom scrolling for no reason, right? And if you've been scrolling for half an hour, how do you feel afterwards?
Yeah.
Do you come away from that feeling really good about yourself?
Yeah.
If the answer is no, then it's really worth asking yourself that question, do I want to carry on doom scrolling? Or even if I just set it as a really tight time off.
Boundary.
I'm gonna allow myself to scroll on anything for 10 minutes and then I'm coming away.
Yeah.
Because if we know something doesn't make us feel good about ourselves, why are we doing it?
Yeah.
Doesn't really make sense. So you've kind of got to try and set your stall out as a parent as to your understanding around that, not in a necessarily telling off way, but in a curious way.
Yeah, and also being curious as a parent as to what your own beliefs about yourself and body image and self-worth is. Because often as a parent, we might be worried about our child being anxious or the things that they're saying or the behaviour. But if we spend time checking in on ourselves, we might actually be having similar mirroring thoughts or mirroring behaviour. So it's good to check in and think, well, how am I actually modelling that? What language am I using around my body or how I look today? Because we are all human, so we might say things sometimes in a negative way because in that moment emotionally we're feeling like we don't look nice or we're struggling or that people are better than us. But it is worth checking in yourself and being really honest with yourself about what that is.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that whole thing around the visually driven platforms, and again, there's research around this, that they will only increase dissatisfaction with how you see yourself. But also then if you're speaking about yourself in that way as well. Yeah. So I suppose it's really tricky here because in some respects we're asking you as parents to have a think about you. What is it that you're doing that contributes to a dynamic which could be promoting someone's lowering of their self-worth or feeling pretty rubbish about themselves?
Excuse me.
Yeah, so that's the thing. What is it that you're doing?
I think so. What is it that you're doing? How do you view yourself? What are your expectations on yourself, on your own body, on your financial status?
Oh, right.
On your academic status?
That's a massive thing. All of this gets compared, doesn't it?
And I've seen a huge increase in kind of the professional work with young people of their expectations on themselves around financial worth and how much they should earn. And, you know, this kind of concept of I need to be a millionaire or I need to have money in the future. And that can be a result of lots and lots of different things. But it's also being realistic and having someone to check in and say, actually, you don't need to worry about that at the moment. You know, you're only, whatever age you are, you know, it's about trying to work out who you are, what you like, where you feel comfortable.
Yeah. I suppose, you know what I was thinking recently, though, that I remember, back in the day when I was young, many years ago, I remember that feeling of going, they're prettier, or they've got this, or they've got that. And that was well before any social media. I mean, well before. Yeah. We're talking like a long time. So it's that bit of going, that was around anyway. Yeah. And I feel like these things get really like magnified. And then we're wondering, well, why is my child unhappy with who they are as a person? Because that's what they get shown, that they are not good enough, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And even if you think about years ago, like you said, before social media, you'd probably feel the pressure to have a certain brand of trainer, or you'd go to PE, and I remember I felt the pressure to have a certain brand of joggers and I couldn't afford it. So I managed to get a logo and I managed to get my mum to stitch it on.
Did you really?
I felt, because I remember thinking, I need it. It wasn't like a choice. I felt like I need to. It's like a survival thing, isn't it?
So this thing around fitting in, that comes into comparison culture.
It is huge, yeah.
And also I just want to shout out about trainers. We always need the trainers, right?
We do like a colourful branded trainer, but it is what you're comfortable with. But it's recognising that if it's what you like and what you genuinely are interested in, or is it that you want to have that because you feel pressure that you've got to have it, else something's going to happen. And I think that's the difference. Yeah.
So there's something here that I hear. Doesn't make sense, but I hear a lot around I should be doing this, I should look like this, should be doing this, I should be wearing this. There is a lot around that.
And sometimes it's catching the shoulds and the oughts and the musts.
Absolutely.
Because if your mind is telling you should be doing this, you should be having that birthday party, you should be having that handbag, you should be going to your child should be doing these extracurricular activities. Well, who said you should? Who said I should?
Who said? And why are they so important?
Yeah. And sometimes it is a message. It's a message from the past. It's a message from the pressure that maybe we felt that is kind of still there. But if we know what our should is, we can then say, well, do I want to or do I not?
Yes.
And ask your child if they want. Right. If they want to, ask them, do you want this?
That really reminds me of when the kids were younger, about birthday parties. I mean, there was this whole vibe going on off. Everyone's got to have a party that looks like this with all of these children and I remember really pushing back against that. And going, who said? Who has made this rule? And should I really be following it? And that was my should. Should I be following this rule that one I didn't even know existed, first of all? But now I feel the pressure that my children should be having an event that looks like this at this place with all the, and it was really tricky. So I think it's around a lot for parents. There is a pressure around, and particularly now with having older children, there can be some pressures around what your child is doing now as a older young person. So someone, if they've left school or they're going through their GCSEs or they're going on to college or uni or whatever it is, there can be real pressure around, what are they doing now? And you can feel that pressure as a parent that you need to come up with this amazing answer when actually just saying, yeah, they're doing all right.
Yeah, and they're
Totally
happy.
fine, they're happy, right?
Yeah, because again, it is that pressure from others sometimes, isn't it? Or society, societal pressures of academic achievements and what you should be doing, what path you should be taking.
Yeah.
And I think, once they get into, even if you think back to like what you were saying about parties, once they're in foundation or reception, you can find that you're spending a lot of weekends with these parents because there's party after party after party. So again, doing what you did and saying, do I want to? Does my child want to?
Yeah.
And thinking about what makes them happy. We might sometimes be worried that, maybe they need more friends, maybe they need to be doing more because someone else or a peer is doing lots and lots of things. But actually, do they want to?
Yeah.
Are they happy in themselves? Because if they are, then that's all that matters, really.
Yeah, fundamentally.
Yeah.
One thing I also wanted to touch on, I mean, I know we're kind of linking self-worth, comparison culture, and bringing in some of the body image, because I feel like that's very loud for a lot of young people at the moment, and I feel like that's getting younger and younger, around that, Botox at a young age, lots of I think this is quite around for females, around like the 10-step skincare regime at age 11, and I'm like, wow, what is it that we're creating or we're adding to that encourages that in young people, that they can't just like what they like and don't feel they have to ascribe to either certain appearance standards or hobbies standards. And I think you have to work really hard as a parent to encourage your child's individuality and know that that is okay.
Yeah, and to take an interest in what you're observing them doing. So if they are spending a lot of time getting their hair or makeup what's seen as perfect in the morning, or they've got this 10-step, skincare regime, it's taking an interest to fully understand why.
Yes.
Because it's good to have self-care and maybe do a face mask and things like that. But if it's becoming more of an obsessional thing, or if it's actually causing a lot of anxiety or pressure if it's not going right, then that's where you're starting to understand that it goes a bit deeper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also there's something in this around, a lot of people will think that young males won't have this comparison culture, self-worth thing, but I actually think it's
they have it as well.
Huge. It's huge. This sense of belonging, and it I suppose that it will kind of link into what we're going to cover next time. But this idea of who am I, where do I belong, and measuring self-worth, particularly for a lot of young males, they seem there's a lot of aesthetic stuff around them looking a certain way, and
food, nutrition, eating, weight, all of those things. You see that more and more, don't you?
All the time. So I suppose it's, for parents, it's about taking an interest in what your child is saying they're interested in, but also understanding the why.
And recognising where the why might be connected to feeling they're not good enough, or kind of a few red flags around, maybe there's something else that we need to just kind of talk about to see what's going on.
I wonder if it's that bit of, when does it tip into something that feels quite an obsession rather than an interest? And how healthy is that for that? And
I think you can kind of measure that, can't you, on the emotions that it brings? Because if something you're interested in is bringing happiness, excitement, passion, joy, you kind of think, well, that's good. That's what I want to feel. But if it's leading into anxiety or pressure, stress, that's like, okay, maybe that's not actually doing me good now.
Yeah, like you're saying about getting the hair perfect. If hair perfect equals that they don't get to school feeling balanced, ready for their school day, wanting to see their friends, because of, that's a red flag right there. So I suppose our tips, one of the things that I think is really difficult in this arena, talking about all this, is we ask a lot of parents. We ask them to do a lot of reflecting. And my question to you as a parent, not necessarily to you, well, it could be to you, is how do you model about compassion for yourself, and how do you model comparison.
Yeah.
What is it that you're showing at home that means you compare yourself to others,
Yeah.
or that you're kind to yourself? That kind of, and it might be a bit of both, I suppose.
Yeah, and they kind of go hand in hand, don't they? Because we can sometimes be aware that we may have said something that might have led to a negative comment, or in the moment we may have said something, but there'll be other things that maybe we're not aware of, that actually, you know, having that conversation with your child around what they perceive,
Yes.
you know, is being modelled to them.
Yeah.
Is sometimes really helpful.
Yeah. So what is it that they're seeing?
Yeah. What is it? How do you think I see myself?
Oh, what a great question.
Yeah. Do you think I see myself as good enough or not good enough?
I feel like I want to go and ask the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's
such a great question.
It is, because there's no shame in actually asking for feedback about parenting and you as a person, because sometimes we feel like we've got to be this perfect parent and get it right all the time. And actually, if the feedback to us is, oh, well, yeah, I think you're really kind to yourself, but when you say this, that actually makes me think, oh, maybe you don't like that part of you.
Wow, yeah, that'd be really powerful. And it gives us more
awareness. And there's not with shame or blame, but just with understanding, so we can think, oh, yeah, maybe I need to just reframe that a bit.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And also around, like, particularly if we're linking it to body image, if that is an issue that you see at home, having a think about what appearance-based praise you give out, because that can indicate whether that's are you doing that more than other based praise?
Yeah.
And what might that be saying to your kids?
Yeah. So you might be saying, oh, you look really pretty today, but then recognising, are you saying, oh, you did really well when you did that? I'm really proud of you for this.
Yeah.
Because it all adds to your self-worth, doesn't it? The messages we receive from other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we've kind of covered a few of the top tips there. Is there anything else you want to say about comparison culture? How to tackle it sensitively?
Yeah, I think it's just to, again, catch if you're feeling really overwhelmed and anxious about it, because we want to sometimes support our children and we might kind of go in straight away.
Yeah.
So it's just pausing, I think, and thinking, okay, what do I want to say? How do I want to say it? Because we can all respond quite emotionally,
of course,
in the heat of the moment. So just pausing, just thinking about these things, just thinking about what you want to say, how you might want to say it, and then just having those open conversations where you can, like we've said many times before.
Yeah, lovely. I wanted to highlight something that someone has reached out with, because one thing we like I said, what we're trying to do is include our listeners in this. Otherwise, it's just me and you talking to each other.
It's nice to bring them in.
As lovely as that is.
Yeah.
Again, someone has reached out who has been talking about self-worth, so it really links to this. But one thing that they said, let me just get my notes. Yeah, they noticed that their son is watching a lot of online content about being a man and success, and what that means. And they're not sure whether it's helping or harming. Do they need to be worried about this? Yeah. So that really ties into that whole comparison element.
Yeah.
So we might have answered some of the questions here, but actually we're going to do a really specific one.
Yeah. And zoning in on those.
About this whole being a man, success, and actually looking at the kind of manosphere stuff, because I know that I'm hearing a lot around it, a lot of concerns, particularly around teenage males. We can't wait to get onto that next time. Like I say, hopefully it builds on this idea of comparison culture, but we'll address this person's issues specifically.
And it's really good we can bring those into the episodes.
Really good. So thanks for sending that in. But we'll crack on with that next time. But for now, I think it's time to grab a sandwich.
Yes. Maybe a cheeky meal deal.
Indeed. Oh, we love a cheeky meal deal. Until next time.
All right. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.